Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Karen, Lavender Clothesline. I almost forgot who I was. Today I am jumping on to make a quick video. I really have not much to talk about. I think I've shared most of the hard goods and clothing that I wanted to share with you guys. So truthfully, I was walking around the house going, what can I show them? So I've decided that today we'll talk about a few things quickly, and I'm also going to show you a baby quilt that I found that is just so sweet, so cute, and I do sell quite a few baby quilts. So this baby quilt you'll see, and I'll explain to you why I picked up. But other than that, I really don't have a lot of items to show, but figured I'd answer a few of your questions. So many of you guys are wonderful to write to me. You email me, and if you want to email me, you can email me at lavenderclothesline@gmail.com. The only thing that I do ask is that you don't message me through the eBay system unless it's about one of my eBay items. eBay is really cranky about that. They don't want people just chatting on their messaging system. I think the nervousness for them is that we're going to take business off of the platform. So I'm very careful with my eBay store, but feel free to message me. I am trying to keep up with you guys. You guys are on it. So many questions, so many comments. I always love to hear what you're selling. You share with me the things you pick up and the exciting things you find and sell. So thank you so much. I'm learning so much from you. I know you guys probably don't realize that, but there is a ton of you writing to me and sending me photos of things that you find, and so many of you are great to so kindly correct my typos in my listings. Never offended. Thank you so much. So we're going to start right off the bat with talking about this crazy hair. Got my hair kind of striped. It is done in a platinum, mahogany, and I think there's one other color in there. The other color is probably the color that I make my hair, which is an 8NN. That's a dark blonde. And that's not really my natural color either. I think at this point my natural color is just gray, which is fine too. I'm sure some of that is mixed in. But yeah, that's what's going on there. And it looks different today because I did not use the curling iron. So many of you are saying, don't worry about curling your hair and earrings and makeup. Well, if I did that, you wouldn't even recognize me. So thank you so much for all your kindness. So we're just going with the flow today. We're just flat hair, who cares? So let's get started answering questions that many of you have, and I'll do my best to answer them. So the first question that I get quite often is, do you ship internationally on eBay? And I do. I used to use the global shipping program, which is the program that eBay has set up for sellers to guide their packages through the eBay system. We'll put it that way. So what happens is when you sell an item internationally through the global shipping program, your item gets sent to Kentucky and then eBay takes it from there. Sometimes they're unpackaging your item and repackaging it. I don't know what makes the decision of whether your thing gets unpacked or not. Maybe if they feel it might be something breakable. So I did use that for about a year, if I remember correct, and now I just ship directly. There are some countries I don't ship to, and I do that because there's not great tracking or there's a lot of theft in the country. That's been the report from USPS. As a general rule, I don't ship to Russia, most of Asia. I do ship to Japan. That experience has been great. I don't ship to Africa. Where else? Parts of South America, and I don't ship to Italy. Most of Europe I do ship to. I ship direct. Now I've had a few problems with it, but over the 7 years, absolutely worth it. I hope that answers your question there. The next question is, do I take returns? I do not take returns. In my 7 years of selling, I took returns on for all of 2 months, and I hated it. There was so much customer service involved with, people, they wouldn't just open a return. They'd have to tell you the whole story, and I really don't have time for that. So except for those 2 months, maybe 3, I think it was 2 months, I do not take returns. Now, let me just say, I don't take returns if I've done everything correctly in the listing and the buyer's just not liking it, or it doesn't fit, or, the color is off. And eBay has backed me on that. When I do take returns is because I've made a mistake on the listing, if something has broken in the mail, something like that. Generally, my return rate is under 1%. So right now it's right about the 1% mark because I did take a return. That was my fault. I sent the wrong item. Oops. But other than that, it hovers between 0.06, so not even 1%, to about the 1% mark. And eBay's been pretty good. A couple of times they forced me to take it. I don't think anybody is absolutely a no return seller, but eBay is still giving us that option and they're fairly backing me. Is that a term, fairly backing me? The next question is, can you show how you take photos for eBay? So I think I've gone over this a few times. I've showed it. I have lighting. I have box lighting. I've painted my walls white in all of the rooms that I do photography. And I just use a point and shoot camera. Right now I'm using my old Nikon. And I have not moved to using the phone. Now, I do take a few photos with my phone when I want to add to a listing, like I'll create a draft, and then instead of pulling the big camera out with the SD chip, I will just, go ahead and load them on my phone. But yeah, I'm still taking them with the camera, still editing them. I know, very time consuming. So hopefully one day soon I will move to a simpler system, but that is generally how I'm taking my photos, and I edit them in Picasa. Now I believe Picasa is a defunct app. I think you can't get Picasa anymore, but every time I upgrade my computer, I ask the tech who is, importing everything and setting my computer up to copy Picasa, and they do. So I'm still using Picasa. Leave a comment down below if any of you are using that program. I love it. It's very simple. You can get a fairly good white background. Recently, eBay did release their new tool, Amazing, where you can just click on a white background and it takes away whatever background problems you have. So I believe right now it's just on iPhone. It's not for the other phones, the iOS, but that's just my understanding, and I am not a techie at all. Another question that I get quite often is, do I leave money in my PayPal or do I take all of the money out? So I transfer my money that I receive from eBay, from sales, every day. So it's part of my routine. I transfer almost all of the money. I do leave a little bit of money in there in case a return arises or something happens where PayPal for some reason needs to hold money, because I don't want them touching my bank account or my credit card. So I do leave, I'm going to say probably $25 to $50 in there per day, but the rest of it I take out every day and put it right into my bank account. I have my bank account linked to my PayPal, and it's free. It doesn't cost you anything. We will see what happens when eBay fully takes over with managed payments and PayPal is gone. I've really had a good experience with PayPal. I know that some of you haven't, but PayPal has been great for me, and I'm kind of sad to see them go. So again, if you want to leave a comment down below if you're looking forward to eBay's managed payments, or if you are like me that we're kind of sad to see PayPal go. I also get a lot of questions on what platforms I'm on. Basically, I'm just on eBay. I don't really have interest in selling on Amazon. Poshmark, I did look at. I might have even opened an account on Poshmark. I'm not even sure. I have never sold anything on Poshmark. I took a look at it and it seemed like a lot of sharing and caring. Now, I know sellers who don't do all of the sharing, but I feel to be successful on the Poshmark platform, they really want you in the whole social party sharing thing, and I don't have time for that. So for the time that I could cross-post listings from eBay to other platforms which don't have as much exposure, I feel like I'm just going to list more on eBay. That's my model. I'm looking to grow my store inventory-wise. So recently I did share with you guys that I switched my whole basement warehouse system around to be able to receive more inventory, and that is still my plan. Right now I've taken a little bit of break from that idea because of the Reseller Meetup preparation. This meetup has been a little bit of prep, so I don't want to stretch myself too thin because I already work a lot of hours. But after the Reseller Meetup is over and I am back to my regularly scheduled program, I will be listing more on eBay. So to answer the question, no, I'm not on any other platforms, although I do sell in local markets such as Facebook and things like that. A few of you have asked if I am washing all the clothing that I bring in. Let me say that I give a lot of maintenance and a lot of care to my clothing, and it shows in my feedback. Knock wood, quickly. Right now I have, I think, about 5,600 positive feedbacks and no neutrals and no negatives. I'm afraid to even say that out loud because the minute you say that, you're going to get a negative. But generally, I really take a lot of care with my items. Now, I used to hand wash everything, that needed hand washing, sew buttons, fix hems, seams, all the things. That I've had to cut down a little bit. Now, I do steam almost everything, dry cleaning, washing, air drying. So I'm going to say yes, the majority of my items are very well cared for. The only things that I wouldn't wash or steam, well, I would probably still steam them, are items that I am positive are brand new with tags. So if something is really smelly and it's got tags, I clip the tags off and go ahead and wash it. To me, I'd rather have an item that comes to the buyer in a nice, clean, good smelling condition without a tag, and I call it pre-owned, and explain to them this has never been worn. I cut the tags off, explain the process. Or if the item is, something I've bought on a clearance rack in a retail store, then of course I don't need to wash it. It is brand new. So now I'm just going to switch to the video with the baby quilt. You'll notice I'm wearing a different shirt because I filmed that, 3 days ago, I'm going to say, some days ago. So I figured I would just jump on to talk about baby blankets and baby quilts. Well, I don't pick up a lot of Afghans for babies or crib size quilts. I do have a tendency to look at embroidered quilts for babies. So this one I recently picked up. I'm just seeing which way is up and which way is down before I show it to you. I think some of you might have seen it in my cart and were asking about it. So I wanted to show it. I'm going to stand back and see if we can get most of it in the picture. I don't know if all of that is in the frame, but I quickly wanted to show you the little squares. This is all hand embroidered. I believe this might have been a kit that people bought. This one is embroidered, that it was made in 1983, and it's in beautiful condition. The back is just a plaid, like a multicolored plaid, and the front is all hand stitched. So like I always say, it's great to find items where, somebody has put handwork into. I love finding those items. And I'm sure this is going to sell fairly quickly. It's not listed yet, but hopefully this week. And I wanted to show you the signature, little initials. I love things like this, very sweet. And I think people look for handmade items for their baby to make their baby's room special. So I say yes to baby quilts that are hand embroidered. This IKEA bag is all the clothing that's sold. I've sold about 30 items this weekend. That's from Friday afternoon till early this morning, Monday morning. And this is the clothing I've pulled from downstairs. Everything is tagged and very easy to identify. Over here are a few hard goods and some men's boots that sold. These will be wrapped in tissue paper, bubble wrap, and then into boxes, always boxes for breakables. So that's what's going on there. And then if you swing around to my shipping dresser, these are items that are fairly new to the store and have not yet been packed, or they are handbags which I do not pre-wrap. I feel a lot of handbags need to breathe. I could have made that up. But I feel leather should not be pre-packed in case it takes a long time to sell. I don't want leather sitting in a plastic bag for months and months. So I make sure that my bags are kept. They are kept in a bin, but they have air circulation. These are two pieces that are not folded yet. I believe that's a flax top I just listed, and a jacket. I'm not even sure what brand that is. And then I have two belts that have sold. Those belts will come out of those plastic bags and be wrapped really nice in tissue paper. I like to use the eBay branded supplies so that when the buyer receives the item, their item is wrapped in tissue paper, either with a sticker or some eBay tape. And then if it's a breakable, it goes into this bubble wrap plastic, and then into a box, or if it's a non-breakable such as a handbag, it will go into a poly mailer, sometimes a box, depending on the style of the handbag. So that's what it looks like here Monday morning, just getting ready to ship out, and 30 sales is okay. So like I said, in my store, I run sales. I run a new sale in my anchor store every 48 hours. So if I want to slow my sales down, yep, sometimes I slow my sales down if I have a lot going on, which will be the case this week with the Resellers Meetup, I will run a lower percentage, say maybe 25% or 15%. And then if I want to speed up my sales, I could run 30%, even up to 35% sometimes if I really want to blow items out. So there you have a little bit of my business model. And yeah, let's get on to shipping, and I will give you a snapshot of what everything looks like finished. So here I've pulled the items that are ready to ship out of that bag. This is what I'm working on first. Shoes will be wrapped, a pair of slip-on men's loafers, or loafer slippers, I should say, and I will continue to show you what this looks like as I progress. I set the scale up to the left of me on my desk. I put each item that's ready to go on the scale. Here we can see 7.6 ounces, which rounds up to 8 ounces. This will go first class, and I actually hold the poly mailer on my lap and then print the label out on my Dymo, and then it goes right into the back. So kind of like an assembly line. I use the Dymo Label Writer 450. I'm sure there are more advanced models and more current models, but this is working great. This is my second Dymo in 7 years. The first one really didn't falter much. It just started to be a little bit, I'm going to say with the labels, seemed a little bit off. Still very usable, but I felt with the volume I do, it was safe to go ahead and buy another one after 7 years. So that's what I print my labels on. Now I hope I won't make you dizzy, and that's what the first package looks like. I'm not going to show it too much because I want to keep the buyer's information sensitive or, private. But yeah, Dymo is working great. I know a lot of people like the Rollo, I think it's called, printer, and I think that's a little more expensive. Correct me if anybody knows differently. I think these go for between $60 on sale and then up to $85. Sometimes you can get the bundle package where it comes with the labels. I believe the label that this prints out is 4x6. I'll try to give a screenshot or a link down below of the labels that this Dymo requires. So here we have about 24 packages, and I have 8 more to go out. One is the golf travel bag, which I will be dropping off at FedEx. FedEx is what I use for larger items because of the rate increase for USPS. FedEx home ground delivery winds up being less expensive for the customer who pays shipping, so I will keep working on these, but I'm going to set these out for the postman in case the truck comes, and then I will be making a stop at the post office for round 2, and then FedEx, and then on to other errands. So that is shipping Monday morning, slowed down because so much is going on this week. And I love having a store where I can put things on sale at different rates, different discount percentages to be able to increase my sales or slow down my sales. So that works out great, and I will be sure to show the FedEx package. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing, and by next week I will be back to my full-length videos. For now I'm keeping my videos a little bit short because of the Reseller Meetup that's going to happen in 2 days. Hopefully I will have some footage for you of what that was like. We have Emma, Ambitions Runway, coming in. She's flying in tomorrow, so very excited to see you, girlfriend, and she has graciously accepted to speak at the meetup. She is a great wealth of knowledge, amazing businesswoman, and we will be answering your questions together. So if any of you have a question that you would like answered, I will try to go through the comments on this video and bring them to the meetup, and hopefully Emma and I will be able to touch on a few of them and give you our answers. So thanks again for watching. Please hit the like and subscribe button, and as always, go out and get what's yours.